I'm sipping, 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 I'm sipping.
Sipping, I'm 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 sipping.
This is Sipping with Sammie. I am Sipping with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sipping with Sammie, you ain't sipping right. Please get your fucking life together. Yeah, and I'm here today, and I have a guest in the building. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Josh Pele Magic. I am a celebrity magician.
So, we're going to start with that, because that's crazy. A celebrity magician. Does that mean that you are a celebrity as a magician, or that you're a magician for celebrities?
I'd say a mix of both. Yeah, I definitely do magic for a lot of celebrities pretty frequently. In terms of if I'm considered a celebrity, I really don't know. I guess people do find me. Like, I have stories where, I'm not really big, but, I can go out and people will recognize me or say, oh, you're that magician, or...
From all the viral moments and stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly. And I have, like, moments where, like, I have friends where, like, hey, like, my friend from New York is visiting me. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, I told them that I have a friend, you, in New York, and you're doing magic. And they're like, I showed them your page. It's like, oh, I know who this is. And it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. People find me. I've been on, this morning, or I guess last night, as an article from Forbes came out with me, which was, like, really cool for me to see.
That's crazy.
So I have... media, press, so they call me celebrity magician in that too. Yeah. So celebrity, I would say, if you want to call me a celebrity, go for it. I don't really know what classifies as that, but performing for them, I definitely do mean a lot.
Yeah, but that's crazy because I didn't know, one, that it was a hierarchy unless one of the guys we see on TV all the time. You know what I mean? The guys that's in Vegas all the time and stuff like that. But then I guess it would be applicable to have levels as far as a celebrity and a non-celebrity magician. I just never thought about it before. Right. And I'm guessing a couple magicians that I do know of would be considered or right behind you in that status because of the way that they do magic and who they usually do it for.
Right.
That's crazy. So how long were you a regular magician?
I've been a magician for 3 years now. I got into it 3 years ago, so right around that time. And celebrity, I guess, would say within the last year is when it kind of picked up to that.
So you waited till you was grown to get a magic kit?
I never had a magic kit. Most kids grow up and their stories are they saw a magician and that moment that they felt inspired them. They couldn't get that moment out of their head and they grow up to become magicians, or they have magic kits and they love it so much they build from there. They take lessons or learn more. For me, I didn't have that. I come from a family of immigrants, so I was raised very differently than the American household. So I was born in the U.S., raised here, but growing up, it's not like we have like American food. We always have Russian food. I'm from Ukraine. The morals, the state, like everything, the way you're brought up is very different. My parents don't. In Ukraine, we don't have like sports and stuff. So it's like for them, it was kind of like I'm the second son, so they kind of learned that with my brother. Like, oh, these Americans do all these things. And with me, they're like, okay, well, this is what we did wrong when we first moved to the U.S. Let's get him into sports. Let's get him into that. But still, kind of learning what it is, what the culture's like. So definitely didn't have a magic kit. I got into it. I was in Italy 3 years ago. I was in Milan. I was visiting a friend, and I had a deck of cards. Yeah, how'd you start magic? I was just in Italy.
I was just in Milan, friends.
Yeah, and I had a deck of cards. Not drinking, no.
By the way,
no one drinks on this podcast. But it was funny because I had the deck of cards, and I brought it for the plane ride. I didn't have phone signal, and I think this was before like buying Wi-Fi and everything was as popular on planes now. So I really didn't have that kind of connection network, not much TV, and I knew I'd be bored if I don't fall asleep. It'd suck. So I had the deck of cards and I'm fidgeting with it, and I'm looking at it, and it was a zombie deck. And the way they had this zombie deck design was zombies on like the king, jacks, and queens, and one of them I thought was really interesting. He had like his vest or royal garment, whatever, had 3 hearts on it, and my idea was if I could somehow get people to choose a 3 of hearts and show them that jack, they're going to tell me no, I suck. And then if I tell them to look closer, maybe they'll notice the 3 hearts and react. I didn't know what that meant. I thought it was an idea. So I went around the streets doing it, and it was a good idea because the reactions were great. I was doing it on subways and metros, trolleys, in the streets outside like this place called Domo. Like,
how do you get somebody to choose a 3 of hearts? Like you speeding. You're still on a plane. Let's get back to the plane.
Yes.
How long is this plane ride?
I think it's about a 6-hour ride. I think I flew from Philly. So Philly.
6-hour ride. And in 6 hours, you figured out your first card trick.
Yeah, about that.
went to where your destination was and tried it and it worked.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
All right.
I don't remember what I would say specifically. I mean, the pattern, if I kept doing that trick, would definitely be much different now. Shorter, more rehearsed, better, but it was enough. I didn't even speak Italian, and they didn't speak English, so it was even funnier because I would go up to you.
And you ain't had no camera?
And no, I didn't think any of this. I had a friend, I'd talk to you, like tell him this, and he would translate, he would reply, and it'd be a three-way combo going back and forth as I'm doing a card trick. But at the end, the reactions were there.
Dope.
And that was the origin story.
So now we have one trick, and this is like, it's like a bar trick.
Right.
Like you can do this, pull it out at a whim.
Yes.
But when does it grow to, all right, I need more tricks, and I'm a literally go around and blow people's mind for like a thing to do, like not just hanging out. Like I'm gonna literally engage people with this purpose for a living.
Yeah,
Because it takes a lot to walk up to people and just ask them how their day is and get more than 5 back and forths from somebody.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So go ahead.
For me, I came back from Italy. I have this one card trick that I know, and I was like, I'm gonna be a magician. And so I start jumping into projects way too early. I don't know many tricks, I don't know anything, but I'm gonna be a magician. A magician needs shows. So I start advertising. I'm available for bookings. I know one trick at the time, but I'm gonna post that I do bookings, and just to see if people bite. And someone books me. They're like, "Can you do an hour show for my kids?" Sure, I'll do it.
No, you can't.
I can't, but I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. I love taking any challenge, and like, that's one of the things that's been my magic journey the last few years. Is every challenge I've got, I've always was never ready for it. So a lot of times I wasn't even close to being ready, but I took the challenge, took the project, and eventually ended up doing it. And so now I push big projects for myself and just go after it. The celebrity thing was one of those, like, I'm going to do celebrity. I want to do famous DJs. I go to a lot of concerts. I want to do DJs. I don't know how I'll do it. And then I started doing it. And then I was like, I want more celebrity. I want to try to do rappers. And I don't know much about the hip-hop scene, how to find rappers, where rappers go, what they even do in there. But I was like, hey, like, I'm going to get rappers, And I started the rapper thing, I think like 2 or 3 months ago.
Tell the truth, rappers are the best audience for magic.
Yeah, rappers love it. The people they bring with them react. Like, as soon as I do a rapper, everyone's phones are out. It's cool. Everyone's recording. You hear, like, the audio is like, a lot of times I'm in a club, so I'm putting a voiceover on what's going on, and at the end I cut it to the clean clip to hear
everybody
going crazy. And like, people love rappers. When you post videos, those are the videos that people go. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's this rapper doing something, everyone watches.
Everybody watches it.
Doesn't matter everything else. And
rappers don't want to believe in shit.
Yeah.
So like, when you say you got something, they like, whatever.
Yeah.
If when you do it, mind blown, and it's obvious. Like, you know what I mean? You can see it. It's crazy. That's crazy. That has to be fun as hell.
It is fun, and now it's like it's built into like this resume. I go from like the sky. I've done some celebrities, but sporadic. Ideally I want to have like an album of athletes and actors and this, but I'm at like a mix of everyone, like a big list, but it's maybe like 5-6 actors here, fighters here, this. I was like, I wanted like my DJs. The DJ thing was, so I was like, I'm looking at like 45 famous DJs. And I have like not even like 10 in other categories. Let's go around. And now, this 3-month track, I've done Vanilla Ice and Run DMC, which are like old school ones. I got to do French Montana, Rich the Kid, which are like people that are blowing up now. Kenzo B and Chinese Kitty, who are on French Montana's new album. I did Armani White, who's a Philly native, who wrote the Billie Eilish song. I'm like, now I have like 7 rappers. I did Bandit the rapper.
Bandit, yep.
Great guy.
That was when he had the pink hair at the time, just because people like to know which color hair Bandit we talking about. That's all. Yeah,
I did Bandit too, which was another great one to do, and I'm like, wow, like I'm getting this. So now I don't care what it is. I just I choose my targets, whether it's people, whether it's projects for myself, and I'll figure it out somehow, because when I focus on it, I start getting puzzle pieces together, and when one gets done, it kind of becomes this chain. I don't know how it works, to be honest. People say, how do you keep doing it? I'm like, I just keep trying, honestly.
This is very weird. Like, I mean, and I guess at some point it's a gift. You just was late, not super late, but you were grown when you figured out that you had the talent for it. Right. But it's just very strange to just be like 3 years ago, and then you just run down his resume. And it's funny. Like, do you still do? You still doing bar mitzvahs and kids parties and shit?
Yes, I do everything. For me, it's I love the challenge I set for myself with that is a lot of magicians they differentiate. So they're gonna do adults, or they're gonna do kids. They're not really want to do both, and it's a good reason for that. It's because if you post videos with kids, a company doesn't want you at their dinner. If you post videos with adults, people don't think you could entertain a group of 5-year-olds running around. And for me, I kind of make the challenge of I want to do both because I want to have that moment a kid has, right, where they just are mind blown. Even the simplest thing, you pull a quarter out of their ear and they go crazy. And my idea is the way I try to make my magic is how do I give adults that feeling that a kid will get when a quarter comes out of his ear? How do I make an adult feel like a kid? And then even harder is the opposite. How do I do a trick adults can understand for 5-year-olds? Because sometimes reading or listening even is a hard thing to comprehend. How do I reverse engineer? How do I get adult stuff to work on kids? And how do I get adults to feel like kids? So for me, I love doing it all. I do everything: bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, kids shows, weddings.
Do the props change or does the language change?
More the language. I think definitely the props more or less stay the same. With kids stuff, I definitely have props that I'm not going to be bringing out to a club or
Absolutely.
a bar, but any prop I would say that fits within my pockets or my jeans or the blazer I'm wearing is usually a prop that I'll bring anywhere because it's always just convenient to put it on.
And then rewinding back to the airplane ride, right? Because all right, cool, you're Russian. I mean Ukrainian. I'm sorry. You don't do things traditionally. I understand that. But in 2020, you said, so that I'm not bored, I'll keep a deck of cards with me.
Yeah,
That's like some 1960s shit to do. Like to really just, I'll play solitaire on the plane. Like, who does that? And then you learn the trick. Taught yourself a trick. Because you took, that's what's throwing me right now. Is who says I'm taking a deck of cards? Was you walking past the store and you only had a couple dollars in your pocket? Or is cards already a thing? Did you play poker?
Well, it's like say you're in your house, right? And you're going on a trip and you're just looking at your desk or something. And also at the time, I love reading nowadays. Back then, I was not a reader. So a book is out. So a book is out,
yeah. That's all.
So say
that's
you don't
number one
read,
for a lot of people.
So say you don't read, okay? You're going to be on a plane that's pretty long. You probably won't sleep on the plane. Say you're not going to sleep on the plane. You're not going to read on the plane. You're going to be bored. No signal, no service, no electronics. What are you going to bring from your house to play with or fidget with? And most people, it could be a toy for adult. A Rubik's Cube might be cool, but not a lot of people have Rubik's Cubes. Maybe I don't even know what other else. Maybe you're not a writer, so a notebook and a pen to doodle might not be enough. So now it's
you're not into video games, so you wouldn't have a little.
Yeah, you're not into video games. You don't have portable, no electronics at all. What physical object that comes to? A deck of cards is probably something that a lot of people just have laying around. They know that because shuffling cards is so
therapeutic.
Yeah, therapeutic. There's different ways that you could do it. You don't have to be good at it. You just mix them all up, and there's a good ASMR that comes from it.
I spent a lot of time cracking, bridging, doing it again,
and
doing it again.
It's just natural. You're just sitting there. It's a great fidget toy, and I was that's gonna be my
That's
fidget
funny.
toy.
But also, it's loud. Doing this on the plane is going to annoy somebody next to you. So it's all of these factors that's so weird for me, being somebody one that wouldn't have made that choice. You probably named 3 things that I would have did before, and I'm not a video game person, but I probably would have tried the book because I knew I would have been forced to read something that I've been meaning to read. Right. You see what I'm saying? Something like that. I think I would have probably went with my first option, but you've turned it into a lifestyle. So do you have the same friends that you had before Magic?
Yeah, I would say so. I was in college at the time into that, and it was right before the COVID era, just before.
Well, college friends are very accepting.
So it's like that. I definitely was. I was also new to my school at the time, so I transferred from a small school. I was playing soccer at a college called FDU, which is Fairleigh Dickinson. It's in New Jersey. I was on the D1 campus. And then I transferred to a bigger school, Rutgers in New Brunswick, which is now a 40,000 kid school. And my first semester was where I transferred to this new school. All I know is the team. And I was injured, so I didn't play much. I was kind of sad. I'm not doing well in school because I'm injured. I'm not connecting with my teammates because I'm injured. I'm not meeting a lot of people because I'm in a weird part of campus that I found out was the worst place to meet people. And then in between semesters just happens to be this Italy trip where I have that trick. And when I come back, now this is a semester where I moved to a different part of campus where everyone said this is where everything is. The fun, the restaurants, people go. And now I'm quote-unquote magician. I'm just going to go out and try it out. And now I'm going out and I'm just going to perform it in the streets to all these college kids and at these bars and just build a page from it. And now it just became that. So for me, it was like my college experience now was all people seeing me, this kid in the bars doing like these tricks, and now these same college kids are seeing me doing tricks for very
people that they look up to. Yeah,
people that they're like, how did you meet this guy? That I'm like, the same
and that's
thing.
the thing. No, because I'm on that. Hold up, because I was about to get to that. Are you going to these clubs, leaning on the wall, stalking people like, about to go over there and blow your mind? How does one, because you don't drink, you don't do any of the things that would be being done in these environments,
right,
to even blend in,
right,
to even be like, well, he's not the police.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so where?
I've had that happen. People have like sometimes seen me with a mic or a camera, and they're like,
looking like the law.
Yeah, they're like, are you like? Why do you have a mic? Are you the police? I'm like, I'm a magician. I'm not a cop.
The crazy thing is, a cop would never tell you that, so gotta believe him.
And so the celebrity thing is that I knew I wanted to do nightlife. Like, I like nightlife a lot. I don't drink, but I like going out.
Mm-hmm.
I like partying. I like the music. I like the vibe.
I be telling people, people like him out here.
I like people dressing up. Like, everyone's nice, these fits, and I like wearing a blazer. Like, I just feel like I look good in a blazer, and also it helps me, like, I have like
you
an
picked
index.
the perfect job for a blazer wearing motherfucker.
Yeah, and I have like a whole index. Like, every single time I wear the blazer, I know this is going in this pocket, this and this. Like, it's an index. It's all the way to my jeans. Like, I always have, this is the pocket for my deck. This
like
is my
a Navy
phone.
SEAL.
Yeah, everything's structured. But then I, like, in the moment of doing tricks, I put stuff in the wrong pocket, and I'm like, dang, like, where did I put it? Because I'm going to it, and I'm like, I put it somewhere else. Now I have to check every pocket. But I targeted that. You know, I really wanted to do.
So when you go in the club and they say empty your pockets, put everything in the tray.
Oh, I tell them, I'm like, bro, I'm not emptying my pockets. You can look at me, and then they're like, they start patting. I'm a magician. They're like, like, they just like, okay, it's like makes sense to them.
Oh my goodness, man. This is amazing.
But it gets to a point where, like, I really want to do clubs, but I can't go out every night unless, you know, I'm getting paid. But I know that I have, you know, I have a package I can give to clubs. You know, I'm hospitality in a way. I have tricks because I started in bars. All I ever knew was loud and crowded environments. I've mastered that. That's magicians want to do kids.
Which is companies. The roughest thing in the world to navigate, no matter what you're trying to do. But something when you need people to focus on you. That's crazy.
They can't hear you, and it might be hard to see, and that's
they might
all
miss a word.
Worked. Exactly. Like, I've worked it down to routines where I've been in a really loud situation. Like, even if I lean into your ear, you might not hear me. And I've perfected some of my routines where I could do a trick start to finish without saying a single word, and you will understand the beginning, the middle, the end, and the effect. And once I had that down, I was like, it's over. If I could do routines from start to finish without speaking a single word, anyone can understand. That even extends to, like, if I meet someone that doesn't speak English, I don't need to speak. Everything makes sense. Now I had it down, so I started, you know, selling that to clubs. I started pulling and everyone's always like, every time you're a magician, everyone goes, yeah, that's be awesome at my thing, my event, my party.
Do they put you on the flyers, or are you like the surprise guy?
It's a mix. Depends on the venue and the event. Sometimes I get put on flyers. Sometimes I don't. But they do advertise you, and I get, you know, that network. And
you do 100 tricks a night. 4 hours in a club night.
Yeah, I
can. How long do you work? The whole
it depends. Night? Sometimes they have me just come for like the night, and I'll just do it on my own. But it's not rushed. Like, I don't always have to. I can.
And you get all your money because you don't need nothing comp.
Yeah, I could just drink water. You know, I engage with the guests as well, so I'm gonna have conversations. So I'm not always like kind of like this. Like, I'm talking to you for a bit, then I'll show you a trick, and I'm talking to you. So it's not really grind, trick. They're very friendly, and you get to know everyone. So people just let you in. So now you go from like this nobody to you work at this club, or other clubs know you because you work at them. Nightlife is pretty small, so I kind of I'm allowed into places very easily. I have a network, and then when celebrities come, it's like, if I'm working the club, then it's straightforward. I'm working the club. This is my night. This guy's coming in. I'm gonna do a trick for him because it's hospitality from the club. Here's some bottles. Here's some bottle girls, and here's some world-class entertainment to throw on top of it that they love. And then
I like how you say the world-class entertainment. Talk your shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Talk that shit.
If any club owners or bar owners listen, that is what I offer. I don't, you know, I'm not just a magician in a club. I make, and you see in some of my videos, the reason I get the rappers and the celebrities to like my magic is that it came, once I started getting the celebrities, the next step was I want them to remember me. I just want to be a magician. I want to be their favorite one if they've ever seen one. But that's not enough because I want them to remember me. I'm Josh Pele Magic, not just a magician. I'm Josh Pele Magic. So I need them to remember that. But that's also not easy to remember because they're not always going to follow me or see the posts I make. They usually do.
And it's not necessarily the exciting name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because JP Magic.
Yeah.
But that's so organic and that's not you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So Josh Pele, they gotta like hold that.
Right.
So that's the
and
thing.
so I started creating.
Well, you got your merch up.
Yeah,
So you
I got these just came in this week, and I'm actually very happy.
Oh,
about
dope!
it.
Congratulations.
So, thank you.
It's a big step.
So I was like, okay, now I have these tricks for them. Now I'm doing it. So then I started making custom tricks, and now that's different. Now if I'm making like if you're like, you know, French Montana, and I do a French Montana trick for you, now that's just
What the hell is a French Montana? And I was just watching an interview with French before you got here. What is a French Montana trick?
Yeah, so I have different effects where.
You say, huh?
Yeah, like, instead of, you know, if I have you choose a card and you remember it, and I show you a different card and it changes into the card you chose, that's cool because that was your card, but the cards are random. That makes no sense in the sense that you don't have a card. Versus if I tell you to think of like someone important to you in your life, I've never met you and I ask you to think, and then you're thinking of someone you care about and I say the name, now you're like, you're never gonna forget, because not only did I get it right, like the trick, but that person means something to you. That has, you know, a connection to you regardless of what I do with
Don't ever do that to me.
I'm not gonna do that to you.
Don't ever do that
I'm
to
not
me.
gonna do that to you. But
I'm not with that one because there's too many names that I'm scared to hear again.
It definitely will have that connection. So for me, you know, I do effects similar to, you know, maybe a card changes, but instead of changing it to another card, I change it into like a photo of them holding the card they chose. So instead of French Montana picking a 2 of clubs, that card is going to change into literally a photo of him holding a 2 of clubs. And I do similar effects. And the beauty of it is because that's you now. You know, if I give you a 2 of clubs, you don't want it. If I give you a picture of you, who wouldn't want a picture of themselves? Especially if it's a good picture.
Shit, I got a Polaroid right there. I
have a Polaroid trick that I do. Yeah, I do Polaroid versions. I do like people like that. And so I started giving that out. And I brand it, you know. I do have, it's like a photo of them with the card. And my logo is in it somewhere, so I know they're gonna keep it because it's them and it's branded.
And hopefully they post it, but if they put it somewhere, people will see it.
Yeah,
anyway.
people will always see it. And then the next step from that is, okay, we have a way to get celebrities impressed. What happens if you don't know which celebrity you're gonna get? Because sometimes it's a lottery. You never know who walks through the doors.
Yeah, because if you go into an event and there's an after party for the French Montana show, you know you're going to see French Montana.
Right.
But what you do when young Chris is there, you like, shit, that's the guy that used to be with Jay-Z.
Exactly.
Christopher.
So that was the thing. That started happening. And I was like, okay, like, you know, I need more people. I want to get young Chris if he walks in. I want to get anybody when they walk in, you know, because now that extends to, that could be anyone. If I meet someone important, if I meet a potential client, how could I do my celebrity trick to them? Because I don't know I'm going to meet them. What am I going to prepare? So I came up with my own system, and I'm not going to like go into detail of how it works. It's a little.
I know you can't give up the
secret,
sauce. You got to wear a mask when you do that.
But the idea is like, yes, before it's like you say, if I know French Montana is there, I have time to prepare it. How did he do that? Well, this is his realm. He does tricks, but he prepared that trick for him because he knew. But now the question is...
little less impressive.
Yes. Because
still impressive, but a little less.
Yes, because you knew French Montana.
-5.
You couldn't prepare. So now it's like, what if you don't know they're going to be there? And they're there. And the other thing is like, some of these times where they
huge
show
as
up,
Diddy. You can't miss him. You got to do Diddy.
Of course. And,
Right.
and the thing is, sometimes they're not there for long. You know, like, I did Jaden Smith.
Passing through, showing face.
When I did French Montana, he was in the club for quite some time. Like, even if I didn't seize the opportunity, I might have had more time to even try to. If I was scared or if I waited, I would have had that time. I did Jaden Smith also in October. He was there for 10, 15
He's
minutes.
not a clubber.
He's one of those, he comes in for like, I don't know if he's a clubber or not, but this was like, he comes in for his performance. And a lot of these big names, they come in 10, 15 minutes, they're out. So
Jaden has different priorities. I'm going to just say that.
Right. So I'm like, I have 15 minutes to do a trick for this guy. 15 minutes that he's there, he's performing, and then he's gone.
Right. So
how am I going to
You supposed to run next to him with your cards out?
So yeah, exactly. Like he was actually the coolest person. I'm like,
showed you love.
how do I get this guy's attention? How do I figure it out? And you know, I was honestly, the funniest story is that girls always going to put stuff on their phones, play Bad Bunny, this, that, and everyone hates that. But when Jaden was performing, he was reading their phones. A girl puts, it's my birthday, and he points at her and says, happy birthday. Another girl says, I love you, Jaden. He points at her and says, I love you. So I put on my phone. I've never done this in my life, and I'm like, I'm a magician. Can I show you a trick? And I'm like really close.
Probably fucked him up too.
Close to where, yeah, his reaction was amazing. And I'm right there. Like, I had the best position to put up a phone. Like, if you were standing where he was and you look around the club, the easiest phone to read is mine. That's like the proximity I'm in and the position.
Yo, that's so funny. I don't even think I got that app, but go ahead.
I don't even have an app. I don't even know what people use for that, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
I just straight I honestly just like go on Snapchat and take cover my camera, take a photo and it's black, put text
and
over
then
it, save it to my camera roll and just open my camera and hope my screen doesn't go dull.
And this is what but go ahead.
And I got him. He saw it. He was like excited too. I guess he likes me. He like ran up to me, and now I'm like, wow, this is so cool. Like I have Jaden Smith right here.
He's one of the biggest hip hop kids in the world.
Huge.
And then he's a star on top of it,
yeah,
like in his own right.
And I'm like, let's do it. And I was ready. Like I knew what I was gonna do. I got that video. He told me. He whispered in my ear. He goes, I've seen David Blaine. I liked your stuff better. And I was
talk
like,
that shit.
Awesome.
Say it again. Say it again.
Yeah, Jaden's.
That part.
Jaden Smith told me he liked my trick better than David Blaine's.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's dope though. Congratulations once
you.
again. But it's like it's so much that goes into this. I already said it's hard enough to get personal interactions with people that last more than 10 seconds.
Right.
Definitely hard to approach people that one, everybody's trying to approach and get attention from. Two, have onions of people around them to protect them and guard them. And we're talking about, for this instance, we're talking about rappers and you're a white guy. So it's like, we're not, you know what I mean? Like, unless you have, and you wear the blazer, but it ain't like you come in looking like you got to check for somebody.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So like, how do you get the balls? Is it the soccer you? Is it like, where does that personality? Did you always run up on people and engage them?
Yeah, I think I've always.
Was that
been,
always a thing? Like you was the friendly guy?
Yeah, I think I've always been a social. I think the reason I'm so good at Magic is because my personality matches.
It's a big part of it.
And so for me, like people like me a lot. Before I was really good, you know, I'm doing shows a few years ago where I don't have that much technique or that much skill or even that much
I still don't know how you got through an hour. But go ahead.
and people are enjoying it more than magicians that are, you know, way more experienced. And I've been doing this 6 months, and people like me way better than magicians that have been doing it their whole lives. And the reason for that is because I connect with the audience. I make it personal, and that's just my personality. Magic's not necessarily going to connect with them. You can have a great story.
You never avoid eye contact.
No, never. I'm always. I like the attention. I like doing it, and you know, it builds from there. The repertoire, the tone with you. Like I listen to my videos, and I'm like it's like a video of me talking to someone, and then getting into a trick. I'm like, what? My voice drops like that? Like it just so it gets into action. I was like, I didn't even I listened to it now. I'm like, I didn't even realize I do that. And
because you're trying to put us in a trance. Transylvania. I know what this is, man. We are now in Transylvania. But go ahead.
Yeah, and it's just something like that I've built. So now with these, you know, celebrities, I'm fearless because I have success with them before. I know I don't care who you are. If I do a trick for you, you're gonna like it. The question is, how do I get to do a trick for you?
Coolest celebrity, biggest dick.
Coolest celebrity.
Like, who showed you the most love? Who threw 3 of them in your lap and said, "Take them with you"?
None of those. I think there's definitely. You know, the Jaden Smith one was really cool. That was like my first really
awesome.
Big name, and that video you see, I haven't posted the full video on my Instagram. It's going to be posted soon, but his reaction was great. He's like, send
it to me. I'll put it in.
There's the security guard right next to him, and in the video, he's like, freaking out. He starts smacking the security guard.
Fucking the security guard up. Security guard like, glad I did my crunches this morning.
Yeah, and then opportunity-wise, I think sometimes I keep in touch with the celebrities, and you know, I'm friends with them, and they say yes.
Which would be one of the biggest forms of
right. One that French Montana was a good one. After I did that, in his
he's a hustler by nature, so he respects it.
Yeah. So in his circle, when I did the trick for him, his creative director approached me and said, "Hey, I really like what you did. Maybe we could put something for Coke Boy 6, which just came out." And I was like, this would be cool. Like for me, that's another one. Like I told him I do a lot of artists.
Big.
I haven't done a lot of artists, but if you're a creative director, I'm going to tell you I do a lot of artists.
French has a knack for putting itself with shit that goes big.
Right.
French don't really miss much.
So for him, I told him, I was like, yeah, like I've done this so many times. I've done it a few times. But
I want to clarify, when I say he's a hustler, I literally mean like he came from shooting DVDs and shit and really, you know what I mean, to being a guy he is. Not talking about drug talk.
He's a great guy.
We want to clarify for the audience.
And for me, that was really cool. I'm like, I'm working on an album for a top rapper.
That is crazy.
And I put like a bunch of videos together, and I sent it to his creative director. I'm like, I have these clips I made for the album, these tricks, these things I think would be good, and we're texting back and forth. He's like, I like it, that. So I don't know if they're gonna go with any of the footage, or if the next step would probably be to record it live with French. That would be amazing. But just being able to work on that project,
possibly
is like
a video break,
or even be in a video. Yeah, but it's just like cool because I can say like I worked with French Montana on his
Absolutely.
album, and that's a project I've never done with that name celebrity. For
I'm listening to one of the best 3-year plans I've ever heard in my fucking life, bro. Like, you don't. I've been doing this longer than 3 years.
Do you research like celebrities regularly? Like, how do you find out or target new clients?
Yeah, so for me, it's now I have the network of New York, pretty good network in New York. A lot of the clubs and celebrities are known for making their appearances there.
Can I guess real quick?
Go for it.
My friend paints celebrities, like great at it. Cardi B has done multiple lives with his painting on the wall behind her. You know what I mean? Like, but when you're forced to deal with what's coming to you at that point. He's in the DC area, so he knows who's coming to town. So he might find out that day and has to paint.
Right.
After you get off work and then make it to the show that night. Is it similar? Like, you just gotta know who's coming?
Yeah, like I said, for me, it's just like that. You gotta know how to paint. But for me, what if I'm in the club and someone I didn't know is there? Like, I have my system now that I'm ready to go on the fly.
Are you Googling them?
Recognize them.
Well,
that's another thing.
If I see someone,
because you said you wasn't into hip hop. Like
well, I'm into hip hop, but I meant like I didn't go to a lot of shows before. Like I listened to hip hop, but it was like with the DJs, I know all their shows because I'm going to all their shows. With hip hop, I don't know the
What kind of DJs were we talking about?
Mostly electronic music,
That's
like
what
all
I
the
thought.
house, dubstep, trap ones. But
a lot of fun.
with EDM, it was like I kind of know the lifestyle of like a DJ, what he does when he's not performing, where they're at. Hip hop was different. I like hip hop. I grew up on it.
I should have been running around with him. We'd be platinum by now.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking like, I have no idea where rappers do. I don't know where they perform, where they just make appearances, where that. But the same network I built in doing the DJs happened to be the same places that, Jaden Smith, that was one of the places I networked beforehand. And the French Montana was at a club called Nebula, and I had been close with those people before. And so like, I realized that they're coming out, they're making. So now I'm like more actively looking at what's going on, where they're making appearances, what kind of things they're working on, and I also built a network. Like for me, when I did Chinese Kitty, it was at French Montana's album listening party, but she was very crowded, and I saw her leaving, and I thought maybe I could catch her on her way out. So we're outside. She's walking with her group, like her friends, and who are gonna protect her. And I'm like, Chinese, like, hey, like. Chinese Kitty, sorry. I'm a magician. I want to show you.
I don't even know how I wouldn't recognize Chinese Kitty. I know who she is.
Well, the thing is, like, she was standing next to French the whole night. Like,
it was a thing.
It was clear to me which one were the rappers on the album.
Right.
Kenzo B was there, but I had already performed for her that night. I've done French, so I knew that was Chinese Kitty because I knew she was on the
elimination.
album. And she's on the cover. I think she was, if I'm not mistaken, the only other girl on the album cover was that has to be her, regardless. So she's walking out, and there's this group around her. And as I start talking, this guy's like, "You could talk from there, don't worry." And I'm like, "No worries," because they're walking, and I'm walking by. He wasn't rude or respect. I'm like, "No worries." And as soon as I said magic, that same guy that put my arms like, "I know who this guy is. He's good."
And let you do.
So he clearly must have recognized me from. No, he just let me in.
Yeah.
And he clearly recognized me from another one. So it's like the more I do it, it's not just the celebrities I get; it's the people around them. A lot of these people I've learned are connected with each other.
Yeah.
The friends of the rappers are friends with all the rappers.
All the rappers.
So this guy clearly.
And the security people are the same people.
Yeah. So this guy clearly, had to have seen me with another. There's no other way he would know me. I'm not that big on like Instagram that this guy recognizes.
It's funny how many big tough guys love magic though.
Yeah, exactly.
Ain't it? You like you said, you like to see adults feel like kids. I'm sure you have seen the toughest looking motherfucker go
crazy.
Like it couldn't control itself, like type of shit.
And that's
awesome.
That's the fun stuff.
That's fucking crazy.
It's cool. And when I had that moment, I was like, this is paying off. And it's like, it doesn't necessarily get that much easier unless you're like genuinely invited, where like you're gonna hang out and have fun and hang out and just be next to the guy. Like the club stuff is tough, it's packed, it's crowded, but I work that environment. But like that moment where celebrity walking down the street, she's probably like 10 feet away from an Uber that's coming in 2 minutes. If I don't get to say it and do that trick, it's done. I don't know when I'll ever see Chinese Kitty again. I have that video, I need to edit and post it, but that was one of those things where it's like, what if that guy told me to just piss off? Like, it happens, and
it would have been a moment missed, but when you're active, you realize that you win more than you lose.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So if it's 7 out of 10, well, shit, I got these 7, and I still ain't put 3 of them out yet.
Right.
But I'll be out tomorrow anyway. So I got another opportunity to catch another 3, maybe 5.
Yeah, I'm just
maybe a great one. might bump into Ye when everybody was looking for him and he stopped with the mask on, and I'm good.
Right, exactly.
Like, you never know.
It's just one of those things. There's always an event. There's always
so do you
something.
keep yourself outside? You make sure that you're always floating?
Yeah,
Even just
I
like
have,
outside of clubs and stuff?
Exactly. I usually don't typically go out
Walk
to the
by the
clubs
waterfront
unless I go to sing. Apparently that works too. I've seen like a few articles where like people like, this guy was hanging by the waterfront. I was like, why wasn't I at the waterfront? I was like, that was just so obvious.
We might have seen the same thing. I've seen that before.
For me, yeah, like, you know, and also it's a big thanks to the people in nightlife that I've met. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I'm one of those people, I never ask for anything. Like, if you're someone that could like get me into a place, I'm not going unless you tell me to come. I am not gonna ask you, can you get me in? Even if we're close, like even if we're like, I have one friend that I got really close to. I went to his wedding, and he could, you know, he works higher up in this one company, and he has unlimited guest list. And like, there's events that I don't go to, and he asked me, he's like, why don't you go? I was like, you know, I'm not gonna ask you for guest list. I know you can put me there. I'm not asking. Like, if you don't invite me, I don't want to bother.
Yeah.
Because so I'm very big on that, and so like people appreciate that I don't ever ask for things, and like that makes them, you know, want to help.
But you don't have to. You figured out the other way. Like, your assertiveness and your approach and your personality is the way that it reels people in. Right. You know what I mean? Like I say, as an artist, you're constantly trying to pull people. Listen to this. See what I got going on. This, and this. As media, everybody's like, I need to get over there. I need to be over there. What's going on over there? You see what I'm saying? It's the opposite effect. Personality wise, we could do the same thing in person. We can put people in a position to look at you as somebody that needs, or somebody that's offering something that you might need.
Right.
You see that, or appreciate even. And you have a personality that's like, you come in confident, you're a handsome man, you got the good eyes and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But you speak intelligently, and you know how to code switch somewhere in here, because we spoke about club atmosphere, meeting people in calm environments, and being with kids. You know how to adapt. You're using a lot of different skill sets that it takes people until they're 40 something, 50, 60 years old, and all they got left to do is teach somebody the shit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You're using what was your major?
I was a business analytics information technology major, and I'm gonna say honestly, no, because that's a lot of like data analytics. So that's me really analyzing data sets and numbers.
But that means you have some form of OCD.
Not really. not with that major. Honestly, like I think the business acumen and like the lessons that I do learn is just because
I was a marketer.
I always question myself. I'm like, okay, like, you know, how do I get celebrities? That's me putting myself out there. How do I get this content to go? Like, I'm always asking myself marketing related questions when I'm not a marketer, media related questions.
You're using the same processes for all of it, though. Is my point.
It's like, because for me, it's just been a story where, you know, I wanted to do DJs, and then I did DJs, and I wanted to do rappers, and I did rappers, and I was like, okay, but I want people to know about me. How do I get articles written? And I just was like, okay, well, I need to find journalists, and then I targeted journalists, and then this year was like, how do I get podcasts? And
all right, real quick, say you want us to get 1 million views. Go ahead.
I want you guys to get 1 million views.
No, us, me and you, right now. Go ahead, say it.
I want you guys to get 1 million views, and we'll give a good giveaway.
Talk that shit. Some reason, whatever he says he wants happens. Now you gotta believe it, but I just put it out there. But no, very impressive, especially because you're a young man, and you're early into this thing that has already done a lot for you. So you have a lot more ground to cover, more exciting times, more stories to build on from this point, because God willing, everything with you is healthy.
Of course.
There's no reason for you not to be able to. You see what I'm saying? So like, that's kind of awesome. Yeah. Like it's pretty dope.
And like the thing for me that the most important thing about, you know, chasing my goals as a magician and my brand is that, you know, I can't do like half of this stuff. I've done so much stuff and it looks so cool, and people look at me like, wow, you're amazing. It's like, honestly, like, I'm just me doing my thing, but that's because of all the like amazing people I've met. And all I want to do is just
come on with the humble.
No, I'm serious.
I love it though.
I'm serious. Like, I won't be doing this many celebrities in clubs if the people that work, you know, from the security guards to the bartenders to the promoters to the hosts to the owners,
absolutely,
were you know,
you're not wrong. And on the flip side of that, you deserve everything that you get.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And like, even like, you know, meeting someone like you, like this opportunity comes from, you know, the people I meet and finding it and connecting, you know, like I
need you to explain that to the audience, because you're the first person that I open with and haven't told a backstory about where I know them from. Yeah. So you can tell.
So me and Sammie met because I was doing an event in New York City. It was at Louis Vuitton shop. They're doing a Yayo Kasuma. It's like a very successful collaborator with them. Their past collaborations have been massively successful. They're doing a display of their collection at their shop in New York. It was like an invite event. And while I'm there, I'm doing my thing, meeting people. I meet this guy named Bandit the Rapper with the pink hair, I believe.
When he had the pink hair.
And so I did magic for him. I connected with him. I actually talked to him today too.
Told him you was pulling up?
Oh no, I didn't even tell him about this. I was
Forgot
just like,
about it.
we were just talking about just like what our plans are for the week, because we like to share with each other now. Because like that's the thing, you build a network, and you know the stuff that people invite me to, I want to put my friends on and the people I met, because I know they reciprocate and we both grow. That's the thing for me, is that I can't grow my brand without helping others. But if I can help others, we can grow together. And
Bandit knows networking. He understands the theory of networking.
Bandit, from the little time I've known, he's definitely a great guy. And so I saw Bandit, and I saw he was on this show. This really good show, top show. Hit like, comment, subscribe wherever you're watching this from.
That part.
And I checked. Yeah, I checked.
My bad, I'm still learning the buttons.
I checked out the show. I thought it was really cool, and you know, you're a cool guy. You're a friend of Bandit.
Appreciate that.
And also, you know, for me personally, like I want to do more podcasts. I want to start telling my story and connecting with others. And I was like, this is just a great opportunity. So I reached out to you and said, hey.
Because he's so used to approaching celebrities, you know what I'm saying?
well, yeah, you were definitely a celebrity. I was really hoping for an answer. More like other ones, I just messaged and said whatever. But with you, I was like, please, I hope he says yes. Like that'd be cool if he sees.
I appreciate that,
and
even if it's bullshit.
No, it's not, because you know the celebrity is like, well, can I do a trick for you? And it's whatever, you know, I'll figure it out. Even if they don't see it, like I'll find them if I really want to. I don't care. I'll find another. But like with you, it's like this is a cool podcast. Like I don't just want to go on any necessarily podcast. Like there's specific ones that are fun and the hosts are cool. And I was like, this guy's cool and fun. We have a mutual. Like I'd love to connect. So when you responded, I got like really excited. Like this is really cool to be here. And I'm
once
really
again
thankful.
Another step that people wouldn't take. You see what I'm saying? Like I gotta commend you on how you move. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Yeah, like for me, I move instantly. You know, like the other day I was talking about to this one magician friend I have. He's very successful in Dallas. His name is Landon Stark. So if any of you are in Texas area, best magician in Texas, probably best magician, you know, around.
Shout out Landon, man.
And so I was talking to him about this one very successful New York City magician who's been running a show forever. And I was talking to Landon. I was like, hey, like I really want to reach out to him. And this guy used to be a camp counselor. And I was involved with the Magic Camp for a little bit during COVID. They did a virtual session, and I was a part of it. And so I was like,
you move fast, bro.
Yeah. So I was like, Landon, like, hey, like I want to reach out to this magician and talk to him because I want to kind of build something the way he built in the city. What do you think would be a message to send him? And then he's like, you could mention these types of things. And then I thought about what to write, and I like instantly sent it over. And like 2 minutes later, Landon goes, you should try sending this. I was like, I already sent him a message. It's too late. It's too late. I already sent what I sent. Like that's how fast. Like, I wrote it out. Well, not like reckless. I knew what I wanted to say, but Landon had some other details that would have been cool. But I just like I already sent it. Like this is what I got. Like I'm going for it. And thankfully he responded to me today because I sent this yesterday. He already responded to me, and me and him are scheduling a meet. And I'm just like I just moved for it.
You don't strike me as somebody that second guesses yourself or that tries to figure out a new route. I think that you have a good ratio of what I think works, and you go with it.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't have that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have to think a little longer and a little harder because their initial thing might be impulsive or emotional, and or uneducated, just random. Well, I'm gonna do this, as opposed to being thoughtful about the process. Right. Like you say, I make a trick that's specific to that person.
Exactly.
You could blow my mind without putting my face on shit.
Right.
But once my face is on it, like you said, and I want that. That's a souvenir.
Exactly.
Like that's like there's levels to that. And for somebody that's just starting to get your merch, that's marketing for you. You this thing still is around. Like we said, the pictures, the things like that. What is your biggest social network?
My biggest social network?
What works the best for you? Is TikTok?
Instagram works. I don't know why my videos don't do as well on TikTok as everything else. Like the same video, but I have the most on TikTok. Yeah, it's definitely not. I do everything myself, so I'm not the best editor. Yeah, I'm good at other things.
I don't know anything, but I know that.
So for me, I don't run like like crazy numbers. I have like 7-something K on TikTok, about like 6K on Instagram. But the Instagram videos, they're getting like 10K plus views.
Because they're getting shared.
Because they're doing well. YouTube is just up and coming. It's just about like 1.3K. It's new. I started YouTube
subscribers
recently. Yeah,
subscribe. What's the page?
It's Josh Pele Magic. I'm Josh Pele Magic on everything. YouTube, TikTok, Twitter,
yeah, we're gonna
Instagram.
tag it. Subscribe to my guy, man. I went on his Instagram. I haven't been on his TikTok. I haven't been on the YouTube. I'm being honest. We just talked a few days ago. But when I went through the page, I was like, oh yeah, this would be fun. This would be fun.
Yeah, it's cool. And for me, like you mentioned, I am young and I haven't been doing this long. And like, I always understand the most important thing is just, again, the relationships. And it's not like you mentioned me being humble. It's more than that. It's that I'm not going to grow without other people around me. And so I want to help other people with their goals, and I want to build those relationships with them. Like I said, in college, you mentioned the people I don't see any of them. I don't talk to any of them. So, I don't really have like friends. Like I have friends that I have, but I want to build with them. I want like, years from now, like I help them with their business or what they're trying to do, and they help me, and like we grow together. So for me, that's always been what my brand's about. Like personally, what do I care about most? I don't really care about the celebrities. Like obviously I want to do celebrities. Obviously I want to do shows and make money, but those are just things about running a business. Like personally, what do I care about most is the people I meet, and like not just meeting them, is building these relationships, because that goes a long way, and I want my brand to help them, and then if they want to help me back, then that's amazing.
And that is wise. That's very wise. But I just keep playing on. I do it for once every once in a while I get a guest where it's like you're saying things so as if, where you don't realize that there's a small percentile of people in this world that are able to function at that way. You see what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of, I don't want to say able, because I think a lot more could, but they don't. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's admirable. It's admirable. I appreciate it. But I'm also like, I know immigrants, children of immigrants, Haitians, Jamaicans, right, all type of immigrants. To go to college and then say, yo, I'm doing magic now. From an immigrant background.
Yeah, I get a lot of...
Like, come on, bro. What did they say? They don't care about French Montana?
They still look for jobs for me to work. Like, I think you'd be good at this. I think you'd be... And like, sometimes I'm open to it. The way my schedule works is I do a lot of like clubs.
Have they ever been excited about anybody that you got?
They have. They do get excited. They're supportive in doing magic, but they're like, love the magic and I support it. They don't hate on it at all.
It's a hobby though to them.
But yeah, it's like, I love this too, but I also want you to do this as well. And that's, that's okay, because my brand isn't at that level yet, which is one of the things I'm targeting. It's not, I'm not proud of it to the point where this is all I can do. It's not, it makes money enough to like live afloat, but it's not enough to start doing the investing and that, which is what you can normally do with a number job. So for me, it's still a lot to grow, still a lot to make, but
you're a business major. You're a business major.
Yeah, I figured.
What's the rules of small businesses?
You just
most small businesses after 5 years are
done.
Right?
Yeah, like I think it's like 80% of businesses are done after 5 years. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to be done in 5.
And to be successful at 5 years means that you're at 0 or right below 0.
Right.
Right? 3 years. Right. You're already successful.
Thank you. Yeah.
So on your 5th year,
I can't.
It's a different conversation. You see what I'm saying? Like you really you went to school. You know the same laws I know. You know the same. We took the same courses. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where it's like, even to say I did a party with one trick for an hour. The hell did you do for an hour, bro?
That's when I had to bring out like the magic props and stuff that I just saw running around the house, and coming up with other like goofy gag stuff. Like I came up with like half tricks, in the sense that it's enough of a trick that a kid would enjoy it, but not enough that I could do it to an adult without them laughing at me. But it was enough. Kids are really easy to entertain. The key with entertaining kids is just get them to do something. Honestly, like they
like to participate.
I started talking to like child magicians. They're like, you have an hour show, do about 10 minutes of magic, have the other 50 minutes of them doing stuff like, are you ready for magic? Yeah, I can't hear you. Yeah, that's 2 minutes gone. Get them to stand up for some reason, that's 2 minutes gone. You do 10 of those, that's like 40 minutes of your show, but the kids are loving it. They're happy. The parents are happy. You didn't even do that much.
So who did you grow up around that's a psychologist or some shit? Because how do you just know everybody's angle to attack? Did you spend a lot of time watching TV? Like, what did you do to figure out all these people you've never been around?
I was just kind of, I just throw myself out there in positions and do it, and then eventually I started like seeking advice, and it's funny, like people, like magicians at first, they didn't take me seriously. Like I reached out because I was like, I don't know who to ask. You're a magician, you should know. And they were always like, yeah, like let's chat. And I give them, my number, or they gave me their numbers, and I called them and I talked to them for a bit and I wanted advice, and they were helpful. And then after that, it's the ghosting. They just, I thought we would keep in touch. Like I'm not just reaching out to call you for 10 minutes. Like I want to talk. All of them were like, that's it. They don't respond after that. They ignore me. I guess they saw no value in me or no use to them. I don't know what it was. I don't want to.
It's still competition.
And then now, like a few years later, these same magicians out of nowhere started following me and liking my stuff and viewing.
Because you got traction, and now they can utilize the traction.
So now they're seeing it. So
Cloud chasing.
I'm like figuring it out, and like people are noticing.
They want to do skits with you.
Yeah.
Let's do a trick together.
Yeah. Take me to your shows. Take me to your events. And like I have, I don't mind doing that to the right people, but it's like it gets to a point where I'm nice to everyone, and I have to like also remember not everyone's gonna be nice to me.
And I still remember, kiss your ass is kiss my ass. Like I still remember, like it's one thing that all right, you was busy and you was respectful. It's another thing when you was an asshole, and I'm gonna be the same. I'm not even gonna be the same asshole. I'm just not gonna acknowledge it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that just makes it even better. You need more water? Yeah, I got another water.
Oh no, I have water here.
All right, you good?
Yes.
Perfect. So we've been rocking for a while. Show me something, man. Show the people. Let the people see what you got going on. I know you bought me something.
I did. I have two things for you. One's going to be related to a general warm-up, and one's going to be related to celebrities, since we're on the topic. The first one's going to be the warm-up. So we're going to go with animals. Now, you can think of an animal, anyone you want, from the list that we spoke with, and you didn't forget it, right?
No, I still got my animal.
So you got your animal. Now, I don't know what animal you're thinking of. Everyone in this room doesn't know what animal you're thinking of. The thousands of fans in the background here don't know what you're thinking of, but only you. But what we're going to have you do is I'm going to give you this piece of paper. I want you to write the animal down and fold it and hide it so I can't see it, just so we have it written. And let me know when it's written down.
Got you. Now, I wrote it sloppy.
It's okay, as long as you know what it is. And that it's
intentionally, because I don't want you to recognize the strokes.
Okay, sure. Well, I'm not.
So I'm just saying it for the people.
I'm not going to see the strokes. You could just hide it away in a pocket. I don't even want to look at it. Just
in case you could listen to how many letters I wrote or something.
Yes.
It's halfway cursive in it.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
Now, this isn't an exact science. That's why we call it the warm-up. So we're going to see. Let me ask you, do you like the ocean by any chance?
I do.
So one thing I noticed in doing tricks similar to this is you already know I'm probably going to try to guess what you wrote. So in a sense, you're thinking I'm going to read your mind because there's no other props. So by asking you, do you like the ocean, that gives me information. The information that it gives me is you do like it. Subconscious minds can be triggered in moments like that where they understand, I'm going to try to read your mind, let's make it hard for him. And even though this makes no sense, it's like you like the ocean, you're probably not going to choose an ocean animal. It'd be too obvious, even though neither of us are thinking along those lines. So I don't think the animal you're thinking of is one that swims or in the ocean. Am I correct?
You're correct.
Okay.
That's why I'm laughing.
So that's good. Now, there still leaves a lot of options, right? There's a lot of land critters.
Definitely.
And animals. Now, this animal, have you ever seen one before in your life?
Yes.
Yes. And how recent was that?
Years ago.
Years ago. Okay, did you get to pet it or anything?
Pretty sure I did.
You're pretty sure you did. You have any photos or videos? We're not going to look at them, but no memories of it. You just did it. Okay, a few years ago. And do you like
I'm
this
old. They didn't take pictures of everything.
Okay, sure. Do you like this animal? Is it a cool or just like a random one that you might find interesting?
Cooler as I got older.
Cooler as you got older. So now that you quote unquote claim you're old, it's pretty cool now then. Cool animal. Okay, well, cool. A lot of cool animals. It could be local. Do you see them often in the U.S.? I feel like you don't see them too often in the States. And by you laughing, that means that. Okay, so now I think I have enough ideas.
Okay.
I want you to think of the animal. Imagine that moment though where you were with it. Like visualize it in your head, right in front of you. You're looking at it or playing with it or touching it, whatever they're allowing you to do. And it doesn't seem like a pet. It wasn't at someone's house. You did this. You were somewhere else. Yes. Okay. Is the animal you're thinking of a camel?
Of course it is.
It is? Let's see. A camel.
I don't know if the camera catches it, but
beautiful.
It's on there. Now you gotta sign it. Put it on the wall.
I shall sign it. Yes. Now, we wanted to do something with celebrities. Now, celebrities is very large.
Hold on.
Thank you. Thank you.
I be forgetting I got this thing over here. He had me amazed. There we go.
So for this one, we're gonna do this a little differently. Now, celebrities is very vague. There could be, talk about DJs, we talked about rappers. So I made it narrower. I have a list in my phone. There's 100 different celebrities, and it's numbered 1 to 100. So what you're gonna do in a moment is you're gonna give me a number, and you can choose any number. You could change it, whatever you prefer. And I'll even ask you these questions in a moment. Whenever you settle on a number, we're gonna go to the list. We're gonna find that celebrity, and that's who you get. I have names like Jay-Z, Tom Hanks, and when I open the phone, you'll see the list and you'll see all the ones. But people usually think that's not fair. If I give you a number, you have it memorized, you just know who it is. So before you even say anything, I'm gonna make a prediction. This just says Camel. This is the card we just used, and I wrote my name on the back. So underneath Camel, I'm just gonna write the celebrity that I'm feeling for this trick.
I'll look away.
Okay. And maybe I should also do like the scribble thing in the corners, so you don't know how many letters. Okay, beautiful. Now I'm gonna leave it.
Still in my work.
I'm gonna leave it under this coaster. You don't see that. I don't think.
Nah, I can't see that.
Beautiful.
I'm not even gonna
So
look anyway.
again, and I put the Sharpie away. You can choose any number 1 to 100, and it's a list, so 1 and 100 are obviously included. What number would you like?
12.
12. Do you want to change your mind? Or do you want 12?
12.
12. Okay. My phone's right here, and you're watching me, so you can see from the moment I open the phone to when I go. So you said 12. I'm gonna go.
You're missing a lot of action for us, by the way.
My notes aren't here. My notes aren't here. And you see this is notes on my phone screen. I'm gonna go into notes, and you see this is a list of celebrities. Yes? I'm gonna tap it, and you see it's list 1 to 100, and I can scroll down, and as I go, I would like you to see that every single celebrity is different.
Yep, I see that.
All the way to 100. You said which number?
12.
12. I'm gonna go back up. What number is at 12?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z. We made a prediction. Under the coaster, have a look. What celebrity did we write down?
Crazy, because I knew he wrote Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, a perfect match.
Now, the craziest thing, to get even deeper into that, he doesn't know this because he couldn't have found this out from my Instagram. I'm always pick 12. I have 12 on my skin.
Oh, really?
Just 12.
Yes.
But, like,
well, you have the option in tricks like this. You could always change the number as well.
Yeah, and usually, but I already did that with the camel. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, fuck it. Go with 12. You know what I mean? That's crazy. That's crazy.
Thank you. Yes.
Why Jay-Z?
Just feeling it. You know, I do this trick with a lot of people.
That's a single from Jay-Z. He has jokes. He's a rapper too. He said, just feeling it. Yo, I don't even think you know he did that.
I didn't know I did that. I'm going to pretend I meant to do that.
No, but the irony and the fact that you said feeling it, literally the first song that made me fuck with Jay-Z was feeling it.
Really?
No
That's a magic moment. That's another thing I love about performing is like, see, that's just, you know, I did a
no,
cool trick
like you had no idea.
Something like that.
Nobody knows that because I was on Jay before everybody. So like, everybody's just like, well, he just knew. Feeling it was the song.
Yeah, and that's just like another moment that happens in my shows. Is like, you know, this is just natural, organic, and like that's a moment I'm now gonna remember forever. Like how crazy that
I'm gonna have to sage this motherfucker when he leave, yo. I don't trust this shit. I don't know what's going on.
But yeah.
Yo, that's crazy. You got another one?
I could do another one for sure.
What else you want to do, man?
Let's see. What else do I
The people want to see tricks. I like talking, but I'm trying to be, you know, I got to think of the audience, right?
Okay.
He has a deck of cards, of course.
I do have a deck of cards, but this is a special deck of cards.
Do you ever leave the house without a deck of cards after that plane ride?
No. No, because now it's to a point where I can't. Because one, if someone recognizes me, I want to show them a trick. And two, if I'm out and about and I see a celebrity, I gotta get going. Like yeah. I don't know where.
It's like you can't be the dope man not have no work on you. Yeah, you're right.
Now I have a deck of cards, and
do you do elevator tricks?
Sometimes, like,
because you know that's the most tense place in the world.
Yeah, one of the clubs prison I perform at is called Somewhere Nowhere. It's this upscale, very fancy club in Chelsea in New York City. It's a club where you go to the rooftop, so you have to go into the elevator. And when I see cards, people like do a trick before we get to the floor. So I have like that challenge of doing.
Magic is the perfect thing for an elevator because you got everybody's undivided attention and everybody's anxious to try to act like they're not.
And it's fun. Like I've never failed that challenge. Anytime someone asks me to do a trick before we get to the roof, I've done it every time. I've even done I have this one routine.
I feel like you telling me the questions to ask. I don't like this. But go ahead.
But yeah, I did this one routine where it has 3 phases in it. Where you pick a card, we do something, then we do another thing, and we do 3 things with it. And I've done that whole routine before we
On
get
the
to
way
top
before
of
the
hill.
doors open?
Yeah. Always been perfect.
That's crazy.
We do have a deck of cards here. Now, the Ace of Spades is on bottom, and that is the most common card. So we're not going to have you choose this. You could choose any card you like. There's a camera here. Any one you like. Which one would you go? You could say it out loud so the audience hears and I hear. And I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to go a little closer to that camera so we could get a better visual. Any card you like.
Oh, King of Clubs.
King of Clubs. Now, one thing you do when you do Magic is if you pull a King of Clubs out, I just went and found it. Do you want the King of Clubs still, or do you want a different one? Sometimes people second guess.
I'm sticking
Sticking with the King of Clubs. Now, what I didn't tell
But you knew that already. Go ahead.
Well, what I didn't tell you about this deck is on the cards, I drew a Magician. Every single card. I'm a lefty, so I'm going to have to turn this way. But this Magician
I'm left-handed
is cool. Watch the Magician. He's going to reach up for his hat, take it off, reach in, and pull out a King of Clubs. Just like that. Now, I'll come to this
Please
camera
show
as
them
well.
that bullshit.
Now, he could have named... He could have named
Go ahead,
any
yourself.
card.
We can't afford it.
There we go. Okay, so we have this Magician drawn on every card, and the Magician reaches up for his hat, takes it off, reaches in, and pulls out the King of Clubs, just like he said.
I think a couple of my aunts ain't gonna talk to me after this episode comes out. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to, but I'm just, you know what I'm saying. I got a couple of aunts that's not gonna appreciate this. The way that we would want them to. But one thing for sure, 2 things for certain. That's him.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We got a big audience tonight. Appreciate it.
Love y'all for coming out.
Thank you all for coming out.
for coming out, man. You know what I'm saying?
I get that a lot. That's like exactly how they sound too. There's everyone wow, and then one person's like, go.
This how I feel. It's like he's sitting next to me, y'all. We right here. And all right, the King of Clubs, black guy, dominant, kind of easy for me. The 12, a little different. The Jay-Z, a little different. We ain't listen to no music. We used to talk about French Montana and them. We ain't say nothing about old. They didn't get to see my face light up and be say, oh, that's my uncle. Like, he didn't hear that. I used to say that. Only person ever that I never had a problem with being that Joe for. Like, oh yeah, that's my uncle. Hove? That's my. I wouldn't claim nobody else but him. Yeah, that's my uncle. I just felt him. I felt like only me and him understood that everybody else was petty.
Jay-Z would be cool. Maybe I'll get to do him one day.
You will. You will. You fuck around and get a Super Bowl commercial one day. Like, bro, just keep running around and setting motherfuckers' eyebrows on fire. And you good. You been to Vegas?
Twice.
Tore the strip up?
Yeah, I did. I do a little street magic.
And you had you was booked out there too?
Yeah, so I do. It's funny, like when I go out sometimes, there's always, you go to a bar and when you're leaving, everyone's promoting their speakeasy. Like, hey, I know it's 4 a.m., I know it's 5 a.m., but like, we got this thing going on till 10. They're trying to give me flyers and I'm trying to say,
I am Barstool, I understand.
I'm like, I work speakeasy. Like, what do you mean you work? I'm like, I'm a street magician. I show them 2 tricks and it happened where like the next day they're like, if you come tomorrow, we'll pay you. I was like, let's do it.
Wow.
And then and this was like on a trip where this was the first time this happened was when I was in Miami. And so my night that night was I went out to see a friend. He was working like this lounge, so we were there until like 10.
You have friends that live in the best places ever, by the way.
Yeah, so I had a friend working in a lounge, so I go visit him around like 10 at night. We hang till like midnight. And a club owner in Dare nightclub in Hollywood.
It's sloppy on purpose. I'm gonna sit here though.
He told me to come down to the show, and so because he saw me in Jersey, like if you're ever in Miami, come to our club. So I come to the club, and I got to do magic for DJ. Colby Covington was in the building. He's a big UFC fighter. He's like, I'll get you to do a trick for Colby too. I was like, man, like I just show up to this club and I get to do
UFC
magic for the
dudes got
DJ.
huge following.
I got to do Colby Covey. I was like, I did too. Like the great hospitality. Shout out Sean, amazing person, amazing
Shout
club
out
person.
Sammie will come talk. I don't got no magic.
Sean Morton, and so
I rap though.
yeah,
Go
and
ahead.
so I would see my friend who I haven't seen in a while because he lives in Florida. Now I'm at this club. I did a UFC fighter and a famous DJ at 4 a.m. and then my flight's the next day, by the way. And now at 5 a.m. I show up to.
I've had these nights.
now this is like because the day before the people on the street saw me. So now I'm like, how do I kill my night? It's 4 a.m. but I don't really want to go to sleep that much because I want to go to the airport, right? So 5 a.m. I show up.
And now you can sleep on a plane for once.
Exactly.
Because you don't like sleeping on planes for some reason.
I do, but I was like, that the cards were not because I don't like sleeping. The cards were like, what if I didn't fall asleep?
Okay.
Which I did.
Safety net.
Yeah, like I usually try to. And so now I'm like, okay, I went here. Now for my friend who I haven't seen, and I got to bring him to a club. We're out till 4:30. 5 a.m. I show up to the Speakeasy to perform till like 6:30, and then I went to the airport. All on my last night of my trip, and I've never been to there before. I was like,
I ain't gotta do it.
So that Speakeasy definitely.
The car fell? It's okay. The car can fall. The car been drinking too. The car been sipping.
The Speakeasy saved me because it was. I spent a lot of money on that trip because I wasn't only doing shows, so that's good to make it back.
You
with
needed
the show
that,
last night.
That's you gotta hustle to hustle, man. But that's the thing. Everything about you is hustle. You see what I'm saying? Everything about you. It's so funny just listening to how everything. And I don't know if you understand how everything that you say all is intertwined to just. That's just you. That's your personality. Like how some people are like. You could tell that they're a quarterback. Like if you walk up to somebody on the street and he's like I play football and you like you a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like it's something about that's just in them, and they might have gotten it from sports. Like they might not have been that before they started rifling that thing and getting the praise for it. But it's the way they walk, it's the way they carry themselves, it's the way they look you in your face. That's like you running the whole thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's something in you that's like. You've never created an excuse.
Right.
Like you've never had a reason not to. Which is scary in this society where like China, what's her name?
Chinese Kitty.
Chinese Kitty. He could have gave you a forearm that threw you into the Escalade.
Yeah. You could.
Because this is a small young lady with probably 50, 100,000 on her somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And she needs to be protected by any means.
Of course.
He don't want to answer to nobody else not over her. A rapper, a dude is a little different. It's like, well, we let him walk ahead of us a little bit. No, she gets swarmed. And you ran up. And before he recognized you, he already told you, just do it from there. Like you're taking chances. I don't think people understand. I go to the parties and clubs all the time. That's my lifestyle. It's part of this. It's part of my me being on stage. I have to be in these environments. It's not easy to approach everybody. It's been easy for me a lot of the times because I'm introduced correctly, or because I'm already in the VIP section. I'm already backstage. I'm already in the green room. You know this about life. Like there's certain people that would never talk to you, but if you're there, then you're there for a reason. So they talk to you.
Exactly.
And they might talk your ear off. You might be the one that's like, I still got my little elevator pitch I want though, but they are just burning you up because they got something to say and you look trustworthy or you're there and they're on or whatever have you. Right. These things happen. But no, it's funny, man. It's funny. That's all you. That's you. Every part of your story is I'm telling you, coming from an immigrant family, what I know about immigrant families.
What you hear is pretty much all true.
You bold as shit. That's why he waited till he was grown.
If I did that as a kid, I would have been bad. Really bad.
The thing is, you did it at the perfect time because things like these gain traction because of social media.
Yeah, and like I started when I was in school, so I had good grades, so they couldn't say anything. And then by the time I finished school, like I was at a place where I was doing good stuff. It's like they're mad at me until I come home with a check.
Was your plan to do more school before this? Did you plan to get a master's or something?
I just considered like a lot of the shows and still a lot of my stuff is weekends or nighttime. Like I still have
time to go back to school.
If I wanted to do school or if I even wanted a 9 to 5, that's not going to impact my business at all. I don't often get like a 2 p.m. on a Monday or Tuesday. So for me, it's... And
if you go to the club, you ain't drinking. You can wake up.
Yeah, and I'm not going to... The problem with like the clubs, like sometimes like like one celebrity was J Balvin. I didn't get to do a trick for him until like 5 a.m. at an after. So I went to the club. I didn't even know he was going to be there. I wasn't even chasing him. I was just celebrating a friend's birthday, and when it was in the right network of people, because we go back to the hotel with all the group, and he walks in. So apparently that network was connected. And so I'm like standing in a hotel at like 5 a.m. and J Balvin walks in. I'm like, I'm gonna introduce myself, but now it's like calm. You know, it's a hotel. It's calm. It's quiet, and like. I obviously want to record, and I asked him, I was like, can I record? He's like, do one trick first and I'll decide. I do a trick, he loves it, lets me record, and then his friends are telling me to this day, like, they've never seen him so mind blown. And I posted, like, I haven't posted the full video, but I posted the reaction, like, yesterday or 2 days ago, and he was going crazy.
I'm explaining to y'all why do one trick first is so smart. Because if you was on bullshit,
it's over.
You're not getting it on camera.
Exactly.
But once you prove to me that you do what you do, then I'm gonna let you get your rocks off. Like, I don't mind that. But you're not gonna be the guy that's like, I got a magic trick and punch me in my face or snatch my chain.
Right.
Like, that's not going, you know what I mean? Like, it's not what we doing.
Right.
But if somebody says they do magic, then it's something they can prove on the spot. Exactly. I can't prove I make great music in front of somebody unless they willing to grab my phone and take some time about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even then, it's not presented in its full glory because it's coming out of a phone.
Yeah, it's like that trade-off. Like, I have the blessing of I could just show my art in that moment, which, like, you know, artists of like your music or your friend painter can't do. But then the opposite is also true. Like, if someone just checks out your social medias or your videos and hears your music, they can fuck with it. They can like it. If they're a painter and someone just goes on their social media and they see the paintings they made, they fuck. With magic, it doesn't work that way. Even
everybody wants it done on them. Nobody believes it till it's done on them.
It's always it's interesting, or I don't believe it, or it would work in a club, but maybe not mine. It's I go to your restaurant, I'll do it, then you're sold. I have to go out and do it. Or
that's why I know rappers have to be the funnest ones to do it for, because they're like that all the time. It's not just through video, it's in person. It's like, no. Everybody tells me they can do something they can't do. Everybody. Since I was 5.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's how they feel. And then for you to do something, and it's like what I just went through. Shit, I don't even have to worry about them no more. I just went through it 3 times. Right. But like, it's amazing. It's once again.
Thank you.
No, but even like another skill set that you have that I don't know if people realize. We're talking. You have a point to get across. I haven't thrown you off yet when I've interrupted you.
No.
That's that club shit. That's that running up on celebrity shit. Motherfuckers is going to talk to you while you performing. And you still got to be like, yeah, but the 8.
Yeah, you remember the card, right?
Because the minute that you forget, blown. The minute that line or that energy you was supposed to give at that time blows everything up, because it's not, you losing the thing, the grasp, the energy, the attention span, right. the cohesiveness of what you're saying. This leads to this, which leads to this, which ends here. Once you skip one part of that was like kerfuffle.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm high, and I don't give a fuck. So, what you doing, white boy? You know what I mean? Like, that's what'll happen. But I'm noticing that talking to you, I do these all the time. We on damn near 200 episodes. You know what I'm saying? Make some noise for that.
Deserves 2 hands in my opinion.
Oh, do it again. Courtesy of my guy. But like, it's often where in conversation, because the conversations go all over the place because we talking. I'm not interrogating you, but people. Damn, what was I about to say? You haven't looked left or right yet. The whole time you're like, no, that's the thing, and then that happens, and then yeah. So, French Montana, and it's like, all right, cool. Like this is what I'm constantly going to ask you: have you always been that person in conversation, and where does that come from? Was it a thing where you knew coming from your parents that you were at a disadvantage, so you had to be more receptive?
I think
because your parents didn't speak. Did they speak like English?
When they first came here, no. By the time they had me, they were pretty good at it. Now
pretty decent.
Really
now they're good. Okay, great. That's a great story.
I think that skill to just flow the convo, regardless of any avenue, it comes from the immigrant parents, but not what they teach me, more what they force me. When you're an immigrant, and like
explain that
like,
to me.
Like like it works. A lot of Eastern Europeans, like Ukrainian, Asians, we got to be good at math. We got to be smart. Like they're going crazy with academics. Like you get a 95 on a test. Why are you such an idiot? Like, how are you gonna make a 5-point mistake? And so for me, before I got into Magic came when I was little, but so did sports, and I was a really good athlete. I was D1 scholarship, but even before I get into sports, the first thing they put me into was chess. And so, like, growing up, I was forced to do chess. My dad wanted two things for me. He wanted me to be very smart, so play chess, to be analytical, and then learn how to read. I was very bad at, I wasn't bad at reading, I just never wanted to. I hated it. I got into it during COVID. That was, like, my good trait. I started reading a lot of books. And
I had a point in my life, if I couldn't sleep, try to read.
Yeah, so for me, thankfully, I have that. I can, like, read. I was never bad at it. I was good at writing and reading in school, but I just didn't want to read on my own in my free time.
I was dyslexic, so I had to fight to read.
Yeah, and so
I'm better now.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. There's a lot of like, I meet a lot of like dyslexic people, but like are authors and stuff. I'm like, that's so cool that people make stories out of it.
Because you fight for words.
Exactly, and so, yeah, the chess thing got me because I got really good at chess. I was like a local champion. I didn't really go crazy because for me, like, if you're gonna take like chess, I was
just a local chess champion, D1 soccer scholarship earning.
The thing though about
magician,
it's difficult because the thing about chess, if you want to get serious, you basically got to be like, by the time you're 14 or 15, maybe even earlier, you got to be ready to like do hours a day of this stuff. And that's to be on the basic level. I was not going to be studying that for hours. I couldn't concentrate like that. I had ADD and ADHD, and it was just not about me. But
I think you understand the fun balance with education.
Yeah, and I love chess though. Like, I love playing it. I still play it today, but it just got to a point where I don't have the time to think that long. But I want to play, so I got into what's called blitz matches. So when you play chess, there's a clock. Every single game has a clock, and when you make a move, you hit the other opponent's clock. The timer runs down, and no matter what happens, if your timer hits 0, you lose the game. That's why there's pressure. Like, people always ask when they see chessboards, why is there a clock? Because you're timed. So some of these games are like an hour long, and every time you make a move, it adds time. So like, if you have like 5 seconds left, but it's adding 15 seconds, like you take a move, you're at 4 seconds, but it adds 15, now you're at 19. So each move you can build your time up if they're adding it. I play games where I play 1 minute games. I have 1 minute on the clock. Every time it's my turn, that 1 minute's ticking. After I make a move, it's my opponent. I'm not getting any time.
So now you're playing speed chess?
Yeah, so I stay with speed chess, and for me, that's like, I think that's just my personality, to be able to speak with people, and just, I'm always playing 1 minute games. Like, I react instantly. For me, that
makes so much sense, and I didn't expect that to come from there, but that makes so much sense.
Yeah, I think that's just what it is. I'm always pivoting, because when I'm playing speed chess, right, I have a minute and I have infinite possibilities of what's going to happen on the board to win the game. So I'm just used to like 1 second decisions nonstop. And in a game of chess, you're probably going to get usually like 20, 30 moves. So I'm doing 20 decisions in about a minute regularly. And if I play chess for 10 minutes, now I'm doing like 200 decisions in 10 minutes. So if I play 10 games in a row and averaging that, so I'm like kind of used to
I should have asked you that first. That explains so much.
No one's ever asked that. So
no, I mean, shit. I'm listening to you while I'm talking to you, and I don't have an agenda. I ain't got a list of questions. I'm trying to figure out what we talking about as usual. That's how we do on Sipping with Sammie. But it's just like, all right, what's the situation that you don't want to do magic in, outside of like a funeral, like?
I've done a funeral.
I was about to say you might. I was literally just about to say. Actually, you might want to do a funeral. Shit.
Yeah, I got hired.
Like,
for funeral
what's the situation like? When you naked with your folks, you like no magic, or you done that too?
Yeah, I do. I'm always down to do magic. But yeah. Yeah, it's like,
he's still laughing too. That's why I don't feel bad. My bad. I know it was a long laugh track, but we both. That was crazy.
I think very rarely do I have moments where I don't. Maybe if it's, maybe if it's like the end of the night and I've gotten what I wanted. I did the celebrity, this, that, and I'm like really tired and I'm just trying to go home, and maybe there's one person who, like, if someone comes up to me at the end of the night and they really didn't get to see anything, I have no problem. Like, I want them to experience it. But maybe there's other people, that they've seen it all night, they're tired, they're like, more. I'm like, I don't want to do anymore. Like, you've seen it, you've experienced it, and like, I'm not obligated to do it, but I want everyone to experience it. But you saw it all night, you've experienced it, and now I'm like, it's 5 a.m. Like, there's, the value for me doing this trick at 5 a.m. is not helping me. If it was like 5 p.m.
No, it's burnout hours. You talking about burnout hours.
And like,
you burnt out and they burnt out.
Yeah, so like when I'm burnt out, there's still people drunk wanting to continue that, and they want more tricks.
Yeah, because now it's keep the party going.
Like my burnout comes from like tricks. Like when I go out, I'm like, tired. Like, why do you seem so tired? I'm like, when I start doing like card tricks and all my magic are like my alcohol. Like, I'll walk in, I could be tired, no sleep. As soon as I start doing it, I'm active.
If I had that ability, like
magic is like my Adderall.
I always, when I play basketball, I always like to be in the lights. I don't care if it was because it was nighttime and the lights was on, or if it was a full gym of people and that was the lights. I love that shit. There's something you get from that.
Feels great.
You know what I mean? Especially when you know I'm going to put on. I'm going to do my thing, and then you walk out of there like I done did that. And then you might have another game, and you go somewhere else, and you did that again. Can't do this all night, though.
Right.
But how many tricks do you consider that you have mastered?
Oof. Master is like... The thing about magic is a trick can be split very easily, and that makes a new trick. For example, if you pick a card, and then I find it, that's a trick. If
you don't find it, you can flip another trick.
Yeah, or even like the same thing. If we find the card, you pick a card, I find it, that's a trick. I do the exact same trick. The only difference is I have you take it out instead of me. That's the only difference. You're just, someone else is picking it up. That's now 2 tricks. And so like you could, like the littlest difference makes it another trick. So when it's how many tricks? You know, 1,000,000 tricks. You know, like sometimes you could just do like a skill into a trick. Like for example, you know, if I wanted to force a card, I could make you choose a card and do whatever trick I want with it. But even just forcing her, I could just say, I'm forced the card, you got your card, you got this card. Just say, like, even though I know what it is, I could just say in that moment what the card is, and people.
So where did this shit come from, man? You got a Ouija board, like what, like is it personality based? Like, I don't want you to give up everything, but like, what are the cues? Like, because it's supposed to be a lot of the personality of the tricks that you do is based on randomness.
Right. Yes. So that's the thing. People think it takes a certain skill. Like there are skills to be a magician, right? You have to be able to interact with people, and you have to have them to like you. Because if you come up and you're weird, like there are magicians that are really good at magic, but people hate them. They're creepy. They're weird.
It's a reason I let you do your tricks an hour.
I appreciate you. So the thing is, it's like people always ask, and it's a very good question. The thing is, it depends on what trick you're doing. For me, like there's tricks where maybe you need someone to choose a card or choose an object. And in that case, like you have to have the skill to get them to do it. If you're doing it with cards, that's a card skill. It's sleight of hand. If you're talking them through it psychologically, it's a psychological. But those are 2 things. One's psychological, one's cards. Every trick is different. Like I have tricks that are based on my skill. I have tricks that aren't based on anything.
That's why I'm asking you, who the hell around you was a therapist or a psychiatrist? Like, who did you grow up around that taught you all of this? Because you took up business. It don't make sense that you know as much about people.
Yeah, I mean, magic teaches you more about people than anything ever could. The thing.
So it's the process.
Yeah, it's like you realize people think a certain way, act a certain way when you do. It's like ways you don't even explain, and it's ways that are packed. Like you start doing. From magic,
being a performer, I know we learn tricks of doing certain things,
right.
But this is so personal.
Yeah.
Like if I'm on stage and it's 500 people,
right,
and I can get 250 of them on my time,
that's very good.
Doesn't matter. Right?
And with magic, if I get 250 out of 500, I suck.
But
it's all
exactly, and most likely it's 5 of us, and you got to get 4.
You got to get everyone.
You're gonna have 4 and a hater, and somebody teetering on being a hater.
Exactly. It's like everything, but
so you got to be perfect.
Yeah. Or the magic doesn't have to be perfect. The response of the audience has to be perfect.
But your performance, so it's everything. It's all inclusive of what you present.
Yeah. But like the thing is, like when you do a magic trick, right? Like,
but you literally have an elevator pitch that's the whole fucking segment of tricks before I get to the top. Like I talk to people about elevator pitches all the time. You know what that is traditionally in business. Right. You really have one in magic.
Well, I don't pitch it. That's the other thing.
No, but
I never say I'm a magician when I start a pitch. Because I'm not gonna let anyone let that whatever interpret. Like if you say you're a rapper, they know you rap. If you say you're a painter, they know you paint. If I say I'm a magician, what does that mean?
I always say I'm an artist because I actually do more than rap. But pertaining to what we was talking about with the Frenches and them, I'm like, I'm more.
Yeah. But so like when I do magic, it's my introduction isn't. I'm gonna let you figure out I'm a magician on your own. I'm never gonna tell you that. So if I come up to you, I'm gonna have my cards. I'm gonna spread them in front of you and say, let's try something. Gives you intrigue. You don't know what's going on. You pick one. You do it. I do my trick.
That's a different approach.
You know,
That's a different
I will
approach.
never go up. I guarantee you. Like,
did you know that was a different approach?
Oh yes, definitely.
Because we watch these videos. That's not an approach that's used.
That's the thing. It's like I don't know exactly how.
Because I watched the videos, bro.
Yeah,
I seen yours, but I seen them too.
For me, like if you go up to, like, you're gonna get people, like, if you explain who you are, you're a magician, you're gonna have them do it. But like, if you're doing street magic, let's say, if you go up to 100 people and you tell I'm a magician and whatever else you say, at least 90 are gonna say no
because like, they already
they're just off. Even if they like magic, it's like you have to,
let's talk about outer space.
Yeah, the only way to get those people when you start with is they have to like magic. If they're interested, they think it's cool. That's not enough. For me, by going up and saying let's try something, everyone wants to try something. People like things. People like stuff.
But the thing about people, especially Americans, is arrogance. Motherfuckers always approach things with "you can't get over on me." You're not gonna be. I'm too sharp.
Right.
I seen the 3-card Molly since I was 8. I know Molly. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's how we approach things as a society in general. The weakest people in our society, quote unquote, think that way. Like I live here. I know everything. So when you do some shit that pushes against that, you in a perfect place to do that because you're not somewhere that fantasizes.
Exactly.
You're not. We're not allowed to fantasy. We're not allowed to daydream here. We're not allowed to be Care Bears.
Right.
So when you do some magic shit, it take you back to Care Bear shit. And I did because if you know the Care Bears, they used to used to come out their chest. It was weird, but it's a very unique skill. But I see through your personality that you the man for it.
Yeah, I like it. It's just again like with the numbers thing. You know, I start come up to someone and say I'm a magician, 90% fail. I say let's try something, 90% success. That's a big difference.
So you literally run it on your own to see the ratio of what approach is better.
Well,
like
that's just the approach. That's just the approach I do.
You done the try fail or no?
Well, I haven't failed as much with that, but like sometimes people are like, oh, like I want you to do magic for these people, and you know they go up to people and say my friend's a magician. All that.
Oh yeah.
Like I never want anyone to go approach for me because they're always gonna start with it. I'm a magician, and it's always gonna go bad. I have to go and fix it.
I'm an asshole. So my initial thing would be to surprise him. I wouldn't want to give him the heads up. Like, hey, this is my guy. Used to work with him. Yeah. I lie and all that. You know what I'm saying?
You don't even say what it is, but it's already the intrigue.
You know what I would tell them? Actually, that they would believe I did a record with you. Because they would think that you maybe play the guitar, the keyboard or something, producer or something. They would believe that. And then you would whip your shit out. And I'd be like, I'm lying. That's what he do. But like I'm the asshole. I would want to have the all the way surprise. I wouldn't want to cut your stage short by saying what you're about to do.
Right.
I would want people to be like, I thought you said he played the guitar, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that's better for me. This is fun. I watch a lot of movies. My jokes go a little deeper than most people's. Like I want to be a part of it too. So if you was doing was Ashton Kutcher doing punk?
Right.
If you was doing punk, bro, I'm turning the joke up. I'm not gonna be the one to be like, oh no, it's Ashton. Like I'm not doing that. But that is a big thing. I can see that. I can see that being a thing because people don't like to be played with, and a lot of people don't believe. A lot of people. So when's the last time you was at a family event and your mama was like mind blown?
I think.
Because I know they asked you to do it.
Well, again, like the mere parent thing, we don't really have family events. Maybe like twice a year at most. But we had like.
Well, that's damn near every family, bro. Don't feel bad.
Well, like I mean, like any family event includes like at least one family member coming to the house.
Oh shit!
Like if it's not my brother, no one's coming. My mom's birthday was in December, so she had like her birthday party.
Did you personalize a trick for the mom?
Yeah, always.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we did that.
Good job. God bless mom.
Got to see it, which are the people have known me growing up, and obviously I haven't been doing magic my whole life, so they might not know that I'm a magician, might not see it.
That's like playing saxophone at the wedding. You get to do it in front of everybody.
I just get to show everyone like now I do this, and I'm good at it. And like half my parents, immigrant parents, so it's doctors and physicists. Like I know physics. This does not make sense. I know, and it's like because at the
it started a debate.
No, like that's just how they react. They're not mad. They're just like that's in their mind.
I'm about to say
everyone wants to explain things. Magic is one of those things that's just better left unexplained. And it's also one of those things where you don't want to know. Like people think they do, but I promise you, it's like when I show you a trick or any trick, if you're like, "Wow, that's cool," that feeling is so great. Like because you're not feeling.
You see
cool,
certain questions that I didn't ask you that motherfuckers would ask you because I don't want to know.
Exactly, and so the thing, a lot of tricks, not every magic trick is as elaborate as it makes you feel. And so if you see a trick and you're mind blown, and then you go and Google it, that trick's over for you. You're like,
Bro, I
oh,
feel
that's
like-
stupid. And it's gonna ruin, because now that feeling that you had of excitement just goes away. And anytime you see that trick again, it goes away. But versus if you see that trick again, you're gonna love it. It's so cool. So you're getting a trade-off. Like, do you really want to know and lose that feeling you have now, or do you want to stay amazed and happy and excited? So you got to be very careful. That's the problem with me. I'm a magician. I do this to other people. I came into magic randomly, and I didn't have it as a kid. I don't even remember what it was like for me when I saw magic without being a magician. I will never have that feeling ever. The one I give to people. You know what I mean?
That's
And so
crazy.
I know firsthand, like, trust me, you don't want to not feel the way you feel. I will never feel like you.
But like I watched what movie was that? This Is 40? I think it was This Is 40. And motherfucker said, you ever watch a kid with bubbles? I would give anything in the world to feel like a kid with bubbles again.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's that feeling, like, it's not in your control. There's nothing you can do about it. Like, you're engulfed in this thing. And I always think about that when certain things occur, because it's like we really grow into these people that are machines, ultimately, for many different reasons. But we never get that, oh my God, a bubble, feel again.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So what you keep relating it to is the same kind of feeling of like shock and awe and what the hell and oh my God. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You're making adults kids again, and just like stand-up comedians serve a purpose to make people forget about the thing that was on their head before they got into that building, you do the same thing.
Right.
So salute to you for that, man, and congratulations on being great at that.
Thank you. You too. Congratulations on being great at all of this. I mean, look at this stuff. This is awesome.
I appreciate
Look at
that.
this. This is awesome.
I appreciate that. I ain't let you down, did I?
No, this is awesome.
But do you have any reoccurring engagements or any way that people can get with you or reach out to you, follow up with you,
so
get you to their place or be at where you gonna be at?
Yeah.
Any of those things?
Yeah, I'd love to. I do really anything, and I do travel, so wherever you are, please reach out. I'm Josh Pele Magic, Josh Pele Magic. That's my Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. You can reach out on all social medias. My website is joshpelemagic.com. You can reach me there. My email is joshpelemagic@gmail. So DM me, email me, fill out the form on my website, and I'd love to talk. Whatever you guys need, I'm there.
3 people you want to do magic for?
3 people I want to
We
do
gotta
magic.
put it in the zeitgeist.
50 Cent. 100% want to do 50 Cent.
Why?
Just I think about
Same
rappers.
reason I said about rappers, right? Because
Yeah,
his
it's-
energy
it's-
is like,
it's-
I gotta
it's just-
fuck him up.
He's just someone I really like, and like I just want to do 50 Cent really bad, and I've come close to the opportunity before, and so I was like, oh,
That might be a great
got it.
business move
So
for you.
I definitely want to do.
Because he's
50
great with business.
He's awesome. Yeah,
he might
50's
put you on
amazing.
stars.
Yeah, so 50 Cent, definitely doing 50 Cent. Like I don't know how. Like I'm telling you now, in this episode I'm telling you, I don't know how I'm gonna do 50 Cent, but I'm gonna make a reel where I have this podcast clip and then a video of me doing magic.
From what I know about you, you ain't wrong.
So 50 Cent up there, 2 and 3. Past 50, I haven't thought that far ahead. Maybe.
50 is a good goal.
Well, I want to do Jay-Z because we talked about him today, and that's a fun one. Jay-Z would be cool.
And
that's
Jay comes with B.
And Jay comes with B, so I'll double.
So that's
up
a
on
double
that.
up for you. Yeah.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
smart.
And then, another one. Who else would I really? I want anyone. I'm going for
Who would
everyone.
your parents be excited to see?
Probably any famous actor. My mom watched a lot of TV, so any of those.
Who's her favorite? Who's her crush?
I have no idea. Any attractive looking actor.
She likes all of them.
They're attractive, yeah. So
Was he on ER? She's in there.
Yeah, maybe like a famous actor. That'd be cool, like Tom Cruise or someone.
Yeah, because
someone really big.
sometimes it's not for us. Sometimes it's to create that moment for them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Even if she can't be there, she could say, "Oh, my son."
Yeah,
touched.
like I did.
Like, you know
my
what I'm
mom's really
saying?
big on cooking.
Mhm.
And so like last week I did Jamie Oliver, who's a famous chef. So I got to like show her his reaction in the video.
Dope.
And I didn't think of that. Like I was stupid. I should have just brought her with me. But I've learned that lesson. Like next time I do magic for a famous chef, I'm just gonna bring my mom with me. But that was like a cool person.
She wigged
knew
out
me
over
well,
that.
and
That was
she
dope.
liked that.
That's dope because, like, you know, ultimately you're young, but you're building a legacy thing. But right now, what she's able to see is the portion of legacy she's able to see.
Yeah, it's fun. It went from her like always telling me like I would always want to show her tricks and get annoyed because she'd always give me criticism or like say you got to work on it more. To now it's like I do a trick, like I love it. Like it's just like that growth because I got to that point where now it's not always like her trying to like see through or call me out like, oh, that's a good trick, but you need more practice.
I feel
now
like that's more like, delivery based,
and
that's you sharpening your tool. Your delivery is getting better.
Yeah, I think there's definitely skill sets involved, but I'm the person like as soon as I see a trick, I'm gonna go do it because I don't care if I mess up. That's the thing. It's like magicians will practice till they get it perfect. I practice till I can do it, and I'm just gonna go because like again, like I said, if I mess up, you don't know I messed up, and I'm just gonna pivot. And if I pivot, now I have two tricks. I have the pivoted version and the actual trick I want to do. So for me, messing up is great, and not messing up is even better because now I know I can add it right away into my routines and my shows. So that's a win-win for me.
Well, that's what it is, man. And I appreciate your time. I had a ball with you.
Oh, I had so much fun.
You know what I'm saying? But the next time we get with you, whatever, we gonna discuss these pivots because the pivots is the part where we be getting fucked up at. We be like, yeah, I was right, and then be like, oh shit, I wasn't right. No, see, you know what I'm talking about. You be pivoting.
Moments.
It's about the pivot. But we gonna talk about the pivot, and shout out to the pivot, man. Great platform, man. Salute to you brothers for transitioning the way y'all did. But this is Sipping with Sammie. I am Sipping with Sammie, Sam Malone, Barstool, Rug. If you ain't sipping with Sammie, you ain't sipping right. Please get your fucking life together.
We're going